It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I picked up a beer in Aldi recently. It's from the Hop Foundry. It's called Tropicale Pale Ale. It's 4% ABV and it's been brewed in partnership with Freedom Brewery. Now this is a new thing from Aldi. We used to kind of second guess who the brewer was. So some people would say this might have been brewed by Marston's, or some people would say it's brewed by Shepherd Name or someone else, and everybody was second guessing where these beers were actually made. So I think this is a good move by Aldi to put Freedom Brewery on this one, just so we can all, well, we all know where it come from, don't we? We know Aldi don't make their own beers. Anyway, let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. It cost me £1.40. Beer in the glass. I must get up on that roof and sort out that drip. Can you hear it? Anyway, don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on the beer. That's the main thing. 2 finger white head. There's a certain little bit of haziness going on. Nice levels of carbonation. It's definitely a straw coloured pale ale. Yeah, I quite like that little bit of haze going on. A bit of unfiltered goodness, as I like to call it. Let's get the aroma. Whoa. It's a little bit earthy. There's definitely a zestiness in there. But it's definitely earthy at the same time. It's spiky. Slightly farty as well. Slightly farty, which is slightly disappointing on the aroma. Anyway, let's dive into this one. Cheers, everybody. Wow. Oh, wow. Whoa. If you like orange peel, if you like chewing on orange peel, you'll love this beer. It's really, really bitter. Really like, properly like, oh, full on astringent bitterness. If you like that from your pale ales, then you're probably going to like this. But on the other hand, it's supposed to be tropical. People are picking this up. People are going, oh, tropical pale ale with Freedom Brewery. I'll pick this up. I'll put it in my trolley. Off we go. We'll have a nice weekend. I'll pick 4 cans up. And then they're bringing them home and they're putting them in their fridge like I've done. And I had high hopes for this one. Real high hopes. I thought to myself, they've named the brewery now, Freedom Brewery. I'm not saying Freedom Brewery have brewed all the previous Aldi beers, because I know they haven't. But I've had the Freedom Lager, which was good. I had their Freedom Lager, I've had their Freedom Pale Ale, and they're decent beers. Surely Aldi are not sending recipes out to brewers saying, this is what we want our beer to taste like. Surely they're not doing that, because if they are, I mean, these Hop Foundry beers, they just taste the same. The Queen's Jubilee beers that Aldi produced recently, they were terrible, absolutely terrible. And this, I'm sorry, Freedom Brewery, this is terrible beer. unless you like chewing on, I've forgotten that, orange peel, unless you like chewing on zesty orange peel for a living. No, who likes to do that? Oh my goodness me, it's like a million IBUs. It's like, I don't know, it must be about 80, 90 IBUs for a tropical pale ale. It's really bitter. It's like, wow. Balance. I mean, there's no balance to this whatsoever. What you want from a pale ale is some nice malts coming through to begin with, a little bit of sweetness, and then maybe a touch of bitterness with some tropical flavours. I mean, I'm not asking for much. I picked up a beer that says tropical ale or tropicale ale on the front of the can, and I'm not expecting much if I'm expecting it to be slightly tropical. Why do they do this? Why? Somebody must be tasting this beer. Somebody at Freedom Brewery, somebody at Aldi. They've got to be tasting this beer before they sell it to the public. They've got to, I mean, if you're going to go to the effort, all the back and forth emails, maybe the Aldi buyer or the Aldi beer creator has made his way over to Freedom, you know, stayed in the hotel for the night, and, you know, and he's gone to the brewery, and they're trying to work out this recipe together. Surely, if you go to all that effort to make a beer like this, surely, you taste the thing before you sell it to the public. Surely you taste it. They've chucked whatever hops they've used in this beer, they've chucked them all in the boil kettle. They've chucked them all in the boil kettle, and they've gone, right, what makes it really bitter, really astringent? It's a tropical pale ale. Stick the hops in the fermenter at the end. Let them go slowly in the fermenter. Don't boil the life out of them. Make it astringent. I don't know. It's like, do you know when you leave a tea bag in hot water for too long, and the tea's a little bit like, oh, you know, it's a bit astringent. It's been in there too long. They've whacked the hops in the boil kettle here, and they just boil them, and it's just, any life that the hop had before it went into this beer has gone now. It's really gone. It is a little bit grapefruity. It is a little bit kind of lemony and grapefruity, but it's way too bitter. Way. It's a stringent bitterness at its worst. What it's proven to me is that, I mean, the fruit flies are liking it, is that nobody at Aldi are listening. Nobody. They must be looking or not looking at any of Untapped or any kind of like, they must be just blindly brewing this beer. I know what they're trying to do. It's obvious what they're trying to do. So the four main supermarkets in the UK, Tesco, Morrison's, Asda and Sainsbury's, they're bringing out craft beers at £3 a can, 440 milliliter cans, same as this. And some of it's pretty good. You get the odd ropey one from the main four supermarkets as well. I'm not going to say it's all perfect with the main four supermarkets. But what Aldi are trying to do is go, right, Tesco, Asda, Morrison's and Sainsbury's, you're selling it for £3 a can. We're going to sell it for £1.40. We're going to undercut you by half. The problem Aldi have got is that it's terrible. People are not going to buy. I understand the strategy. I totally understand the strategy. But try and get it right. Try better than this. all of these Hop Foundry beers, they're all tasting the same. They're all astringent. They're all badly brewed beer. I know Freedom Brewery don't produce beers like this. It simply has to be coming from the top. It has to be coming from Aldi. They must be going, here's the recipe, brew this. Their beer buyer must be like some ex-home brewer who thinks he knows how to brew American pale ales, and he's going, right, this is how we want it, £1.40 a can, you're going to brew it like this, you're going to stick all the hops in the boil kettle, you're going to boil the life out of them, and yeah, £1.40, job done. No, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's really not good enough, because I would rather pay, and this is where it'll hurt Aldi the most, is when you start talking about money, because they don't understand anything else. I'd rather pay £3 a can in a supermarket for something at least half decent, at least kind of trying to be craft beer. This is atrocious. This is atrocious, and it's a complete waste of my £1.40. Complete waste. Terrible beer, terrible. The problem is that I do shop in Aldi. Some of the food is great. I had their salt and chili chicken balls the other day, and I said on the food review, I said, this is the best thing ever. This is better than the Chinese chicken balls they're selling you. So Aldi know how to do things right. They know how to do their food right, but they just can't. Like, I walk down their beer aisle, so I'll walk down their freezer aisle, and I'll be like, oh, well, you know, this is going to be, some of this stuff's going to be pretty decent. I'm optimistic in the freezer aisle. I go anywhere near that beer aisle, and I'm like, I had a pretty decent stout recently. I had a really good stout recently, actually. I really enjoyed that. But anything like this Hop Foundry stuff, or anything like where they're trying to be craft, I'm walking down, I'm almost on my tiptoes, like walking towards the beer. I'm like, am I going down there today? Am I going to have a look down at that beer aisle today? It's a real shame. It's a real shame, because as I've mentioned before, some of the Pilsners that Aldi produce, some of the Weiss beers that Aldi produce are out of this world. They're terrific. They're fantastic. But when it comes to craft beer, they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. They need to go back to the drawing board. They absolutely need to go back to the drawing board with this Hop Foundry thing, because people are going to see it. I'm not going to lie, I've seen it, Hop Foundry. I picked it up and I was like, oh, do I even bother? That was the thing that went through. Do I even bother? I'm going to get irate, I'm going to shout at the camera. And then I thought, oh, Freedom Brewery, they've changed something. They're naming the brewery, perhaps now that they've named the brewery. Again, I don't know who brewed the Hop Foundry beers previously. I know they all weren't Freedom Brewery. But I thought, with them putting the name of the brewer on now, it might be half decent. It might be drinkable beer. Absolutely not. Right, they're calling it a thirst-quenching pale ale with refreshing tropical notes. Absolutely not. It's an astringent, bitter mess of a beer. I'm Aldi. I'm going to rate this, and I've had enough. The Hop Foundry Tropical Ale, Pale Ale. It's atrocious. It's 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. That's going down the sink. I'm not drinking any more of that beer. I hope you liked the video. I hope you understand my level of irateness, why I'm getting so... I hope it's not like I'm coming across as an old man shouting at clouds. I never want the channel to become that. But it needs to be said. They need to be told that these beers are just not good enough. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.